Let's take a look at the euro dollar for the upcoming October the 14th session. Now, very quickly, we're going to look at this daily chart again, just up and down. We've had follow through for a couple of days here, so that's been pretty good. We've actually closed above this high on a daily basis, so that's slightly going to be positive for us. Now, as we get down to the 4-hour time frame, we want to see if there's anything on here that's going to give us any kind of bearish ideas. And here's this resistance line. Let's go ahead and draw that in right all the way across from here. That's that previous high that we really want to take into account. That's going to be very, very important to us, as well as this trend line. We want to see price, again, because it's closed above this high essentially on a daily basis, we want to see it continue up higher, right? We don't want to get caught in any kind of fake out breakout. So there's 3 key levels we're going to want to watch for. This is going to be the current high. Any kind of close above this on a 60-minute chart, we're going to want to go long. And let's take that down to a 1-hour chart. Any kind of close above this level right here, we're going to want to go long. Now you can see it's very narrow right in here, and that's good for us. It's a narrowing price range. Eventually it's going to break out of that. And let's go ahead and drop this trend line down just a bit, just to be more like on those bodies right here. So anything above this high here, a close on a 60-minute chart, we're going to be looking for long. There's no divergence here, but there is some indications that we should be looking for a pullback. So any kind of close down here below this trend line here on a 60-minute chart, we'll be looking to go short. That gives us a lot of room in here, but it's narrowing room for price to mush around in and play around in here. So in here, whoops, let me get right back to that. In this area, we're not going to be too concerned about price because it's a very, very narrow range. It's about getting down to, including the spread, 40, 50 pips or less. And it could bounce around in here pretty radically, as you can see with these candles. So again, we're looking for a close above this level here, this resistance line on a 60-minute chart to go long, a close below this trend line here on a 60-minute chart to go short. And that's what we're looking for on the euro dollar for the October the 14th session. Let's take a look at the euro yen for the October the 14th session. On the daily chart again, we're just in consolidation, been going up and down across for months really. So that's good. At least it's been fairly smooth. We've had fairly consistent movement. All right, so let's take a look at the lower time frames to see if we can negotiate any kind of trade. And on the 4-hour chart, you know, MACD is just showing us some bullishness here, and that's pretty much it. Very nice, strong trend line. That's going to be excellent for us. That's actually a great trading marquee right there when you get a brilliant trend line like this. We're going to draw a good trend line on that. And the reason that this is so good for us, and we're going to put a nice, good general slope trend line on here where we get most of the bodies of price action. And why do we want most of the bodies of price action? Because here was a 60-minute close below this trend line and then right back the other way. We're good with getting stopped out on something like that, completely happy. But as you can see, we have a lot of majority of bodies and price actions along this trend line. You can also see that MACD is waving lower here on the 1-hour chart as price is staying at or near the same level and even slightly going higher. Essentially, the bodies are pretty much staying right around the same level on the average. But this is giving us some bearish opportunity here. So we have a really nice upper trend line here, and we have a very nice lower trend line. And you can see all the spikiness that's in here. This gives us some excellent trading opportunities for the euro yen. And so what we're going to look for on this trade is really a close above this high on a 60-minute chart to go long. We're going to look for a close below this level here on a 60-minute chart to go short. And we're going to look to follow price. Now, is there a way we could get stopped out on either one of these trades? Yes. It's very tight, very whippy in here. So if we get close, let's just say price closes below this on the hourly chart and then comes back up, closes out, comes back up here, stops us out, and then closes up above this a resistance line up here and closes on the hourly chart above it, then we'd be looking to, again, close and reverse our trade and go long. Now, closing and reversing is something that takes a lot of mental preparation. A lot of people have a hard time doing it. It's a skill sometimes that takes years to develop, so don't worry if that's not something that you're able to do at this time. But essentially, the buy and sell strategy we're looking for tonight, again, is for October 14th, is a buy on a close with a 60-minute candle above this level, or a sell on a close with a 60-minute candle below this level here. Let's take a look at the pound dollar for the upcoming October the 14th session. Again, on a daily basis, the last couple days down, back up, back and forth, lots of consolidation in here. Again, that accentuates that we need to enter these trades on a little bit lower time frame, take our profit aggressively. And again, for those who might be new, aggressively means we need to take a larger position of our trade off the table for a smaller number of pips. So perhaps in the 20 to 30 pip range, we might be taking 70 to 80% of our trade off and allowing 20 to 30% of it to run in case it does run 100 pips or more. So we just need to keep that in mind, realizing that the daily price action has been one way and then right back the other way, which means that if you don't take any money off the table, you lose all of your money. So we want to think professionally as we take profit always when we're trading and pay ourselves as the market moves in our direction. It's very important that you do that if you have not begun to do so yet in your trading. Now on the 4-hour chart, what we want to realize as well is that the MACD here is below the waterline, slightly bearish. As you can see, we're getting some really nice trend lines going on here on these 4-hour charts, just slightly up there. And it becomes a lot more clear, that trend line does, on the 1-hour chart. So you can see it's a very steep, very aggressive trend line coming up through here, and we'll draw that. Now, price does not like overall steep, aggressive trend lines. It just doesn't. And so what happens a lot of the times is it will fall from here. It will break down and come back down. So that's what we're going to be watching for, and we're going to move this trend line out just a little bit because what we want to have happen on this trend line here, because price has been slowly grinding up through Asia, is we would like to see a close below this, and this video might get to you just a little bit later with the pound yen or the pound dollar, I'm sorry, because it's so aggressive of a trend line. Any kind of close below this level here on that trend line on the 60-minute chart, we're going to look to sell. So maybe even below this moving average, and let's just take a look at what that value might be. So any kind of close on the hourly chart below 59.16, let's say, we'd be looking to short. And any kind of close above this level here, where we're taking a look at in like the 59.45 area, any kind of close above that on an hourly basis. Remember, you only look at these trades at the top of the hour. Should be very good for those of you who have jobs and have other things, very busy lives. When you're looking for the candle to close at the top of the hour, very, very important that you remember that. You don't do anything in the middle of the hours, right? Unless we say that we're looking for something at a close on a 30-minute basis. Then you have to look on the 30-minute basis and then at the top of the hour. So that's pretty much all we're looking for on the pound dollar for the upcoming October the 14th session. Right now we're in this really tight range, so any kind of close above this resistance line here on an hourly basis, we're going to go long, and any kind of close below this trend line here on a 60-minute basis, we're going to look to go short. And that's what we're looking for on the pound dollar for the upcoming October the 14th session.